The first question is very simple. What are you doing to develop yourself? And if you'd say, my gosh, John, I'll tell you right now, I'm doing a lot to develop myself. I've got a personal growth plan, and I'm intentional in this, and I'm doing this on a daily deal. If you could say that to me, then I'd say, hey, we're in good shape here. We're in good shape, because that's the key. You know, what are you doing to develop yourself? And by the way, the reason that's first is not because you want to be selfish. It's kind of like almost a selfish question. The person says, well, why do I start with myself? The reason you start with yourself is because you cannot give what you do not have. So you better start with yourself. Because if you're leading others and have nothing to give them, nothing to share with them, nothing to teach them, then I can promise you, you'll never be what you want to be as a leader. And I can promise you that after 40 years of personal growth, the secret of any success, if I've had any success at all, the secret of that success has been personal growth in my life. And growth has literally placed me where I am. So what are you doing to develop yourself? It's a huge question. And the 15 laws of personal growth, basically these laws are all about developing yourself and developing the second question, what are you doing to develop others? You see, on the first question, you're foundational for your future. The second question is all about compounding, multiplication. That's where you build a huge business, when you know how to develop other people. And what we have to understand about the law of intentionality is that you cannot develop yourself and you cannot develop your people unless you're intentional.
You don't need some dramatic vision. Just begin something. And maybe by health or by whatever other things we can think of to do, you just get back on a better track. Okay? It's a small journey to changing direction. Guess how quickly you can change your health? By starting to eat an apple a day. Mama said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Let's say you've been ill long enough and you've had health problems long enough, and you say, that's it. That's over. I'm going to now start a program. You don't have to really revolutionize your whole health life. Just start with an apple a day. You say, well, is it that simple to change your health life? And the answer is yes. The key is just to start. You know, you pick up a book on good health, and you get halfway through the book, and it says, now, dear reader, set this book aside, fall down on the floor, and see how many push-ups you can do. And then it goes on to say, and if you have not done that, why not give this book away? It looks like you're not going to do it. Come on, you don't have to radically do something. You can gain momentum and make changes as you go. Just start. Here's what happens when you start a new direction. Self-esteem starts to accelerate. It doesn't take much for you to feel good about yourself. Just committed to a new direction and you feel good. And an apple a day, committed to finally having a health program that'll make you the healthiest you've ever been in the next 20 years, all you got to do is munch on that first apple. And nobody even has to be around you, and you don't have to announce it to the world. But you munch on that first apple and say, this is the beginning of developing a health program that's going to make me so healthy I'll have the vitality to do whatever I want to do for the next 30 years of my life. Munch, munch, happy, happy, self-esteem off the scale. Now, if you eat an apple the second day, you become almost delirious, saying, wow, I'm on my way. Somebody said, just 2 apples? Says, look, you don't understand. Not only did I do it yesterday, I've done it again today. This is really proving to myself with no audience, no microphones, no nothing, just you and yourself. You've convinced yourself, I'm on my way to the healthiest I ever have been. I'm starting a new life. This is the second day. I'm on my way. That's how easy it is to change your life.
What we have to understand about developing ourselves and getting better is that it doesn't take brilliance, and it doesn't take a lot of time, and it doesn't even take a lot of effort, but it must be intentional. That's the word I want to implant in your mind for a moment. The fact that you don't get better automatically, you only get better because you intentionally make a decision to get better. And here's my word for you today on Minute with Maxwell. Here's how this works. You have to go from being a person of good intentions to a person of good actions. That's the great separator. To develop yourself, you've got to get out of the intending world and get into the doing world. In fact, your good intentions are good intentions, but they're worthless. Totally worthless. The most overrated phrase in the world is good intentions. I know all kinds of people, they have good intentions, but they never do good because they didn't act upon what they knew. So if you want to develop yourself and you want to get better, just act on what you've already expressed that you want to do. The moment you quit talking about it and start doing it, now you've got something. I had a friend named Randy one time who came to me and said, John, your talk talks and your walk talks, but your walk talks a lot louder than your talk talks. That's true. Become a person of action today.
Self-discipline is a learnable quality that anyone can attain through hard work and repetition. While this process may seem simple, it's not easy to do. Everyone can become a great leader and have better self-confidence and achieve success if they continue to do the right things in the right way. The fact is that you can develop whatever qualities you consider desirable and necessary. For some people, it will be easier, and for others, it will take more time and effort. But each person has the inborn ability to shape his or her character and personality in a positive way by being clear about his or her future intent and determined enough to press forward through the difficulties, resistance, and setbacks that you will always experience. The process of developing discipline is simple, though not easy. Nothing worthwhile is easy. First, decide upon the one discipline that can be most helpful to you in your career at the moment. Don't try to change several things about yourself at once, or develop several disciplines for yourself simultaneously, no matter how attractive and desirable they may be at the moment. Your basic need is to focus and concentrate on the development of a single discipline until it is locked in and becomes a part of your personality. Then you can move on to the development of the next discipline on your list. Once you've chosen a discipline to develop, begin to think about how you would behave if you already had this discipline or habit. See yourself acting or reacting in a situation where you want to practice this discipline. Then create a positive affirmation for yourself to continually reinforce this new discipline. You will actually become what you say to yourself about yourself over and over again. This will build your self-confidence and you'll begin to see yourself in a new light. For example, you can say, I am always timely and punctual. I am always punctual for every meeting. I am always punctual for every appointment. I am always punctual. And as you keep repeating that over and over again, you program it deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind then begins to push you to be on time for every meeting or appointment. Now, once you've decided on the discipline you're going to develop, the key is for you to launch strongly on your new discipline. Resolve to never allow an exception until it becomes permanent. If you fall off the wagon, immediately restate your affirmation as a command to yourself and begin trying it again. This is the only way you can develop the habit of discipline in that particular area. The best part of this process of developing disciplines is a direct relationship between self-discipline and persistence. The more you persist in any endeavor, the greater self-discipline and self-confidence you'll develop. It's been well said that persistence is self-discipline in action. The more consistently you practice your chosen disciplines, the more you will like and respect yourself. You will feel more confident and optimistic. You'll become more effective in every area of your life. When you develop the disciplines of leadership excellence, you'll become a more powerful and resourceful leader, get more done, have greater self-confidence, and succeed at higher levels in everything you attempt.
Let's talk about how you think, how I think. Because what I want you to know is in your life, there is more for you than what you have right now. And in your life, there is more before you than you ever had in your life. I want you, in other words, to think abundance, not scarcity. See, a lot of people, they don't think more, they think less. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So I just want you to know that before you, in front of you, and you may say, well, I'm at kind of a juncture in my life, and I'm not even really quite sure where I'm going next, and it's a little transition period. It's okay. It's okay. Let me just say something to you. Here's what I know. Here's what I know about life. Here's what I know about you. There's more for you. And there's more before you. And I want you to know that because I know that for sure. And I want you to think of two words right now, and these two words will just help clear all of this up for you. The first word is creativity, and the second word is flexibility. Because the moment that you really not only understand, but you begin to embrace and live out these two words, you begin to enter into the more and more before world that I want for you. Creativity. What creativity really says is this, that there is always an answer. You show me a creative person, and I'm going to tell you, at the core of their creativity is not some kind of genius or some kind of a way that they can think out of the box. We put a lot of talent to creativity, and it is a high talent. But what I want you to understand about creative people is, at the core of a creative person is this. They believe there is always an answer. That's what keeps them creative. Think about it. If you don't think there's an answer, how creative are you going to be? How long are you going to hang with that idea? How long are you going to try to work it and percolate it and create it and make it something bigger? So creative people, they believe there is always an answer. So they already think, if I really work hard and use my mind and I get creative, there's something out there that I haven't discovered. There's always an answer. Now look at the word flexibility. The word flexibility says there is more than one answer. I love this. There's more than one answer. And so when I start this life, I've got to understand that, wow, there's not only an answer, but when I get the answer, that's not the only answer. I was asked the other day, John, you seem to be constantly striving to improve yourself. How do you handle best? And I say, well, every day I try to do my best. And at the end of the day, if I did my best, I said, boy, I did my best. And I'm glad I like best. But tomorrow, that's the best is the foundation I build off of. Best can get better. You see, best becomes a problem when you think it's best. Then you want to mount it and have a trophy, have a celebration, and take pictures, have a chicken tour. You see, what you got to understand about best is best if you're giving your best right now. So we like best, but you got to understand beyond best is something better than best. And so you don't rest on the best. You don't rest on the best because you understand you can improve it. You can always get a little bit better. You can always excel a little bit more. You can always push it a little further. You can always climb a little bit higher. Best is wonderful. And so when I run into people and they say, oh, this is as good as it's ever going to get, I want to walk in their life and say, my name's John. And if it's as good as it's ever going to get, I feel very sorry for you. Should we bury you now? You hit your highlight, you might as well go to heaven. Everything else is going to be less. No, you understand that best can get better and more can get more. And I want you just to understand, creativity says there's always an answer. Flexibility says there's more than one answer. So therefore, when I think I have found it, when I think I have succeeded, when I think that I have really grabbed this, what I want you to know is I'm not there yet. There is no finish line.
When should we start building the house? When should we start? And here's the answer. As soon as it's finished. You wouldn't start building the house until you had it finished. If you just started laying bricks and somebody came around and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just laying bricks. And said, what are you building? And you said, I have no idea. See, they'll take you away to a safe place. So have you got that now? It's possible to finish something before you start. In fact, it would be a bit foolish to start until you had it finished. So human beings have this remarkable ability to finish something and then start it. We've heard the old expression, don't count your chickens until they're hatched. Say, no, we have the ability to count our chickens long before they're hatched. Because we know, we have faith, we believe. We use the law of averages. There's bound to be at least so many, out of every dozen, out of every 100, out of every 50. So it's possible to see the end and then begin. So here's what we want to do in our goal-setting session, is to start looking into the future of what you would like to accomplish and where you would like to go, the person you would like to be, and see if you can't get a better picture of the finished objective. See yourself there. See yourself in possession of. I was in business with Bob Cummings, the old movie star, for a while. He said, decide what you want and then act as if you already had it. And being an actor, he could give us a few tips on acting. Decide what you want and act as if it was already yours. Now, the reason we can act thinking that it's already ours is because not only can we vision the end results, we can also vision the beginning of making it real. So we don't start till it's finished, but it is possible for human beings to finish something before they start. Just jot this down, it's a bit philosophical. And that's this: human beings are the only life on earth that has this incredible capacity to change the course of your life. No other life form can do that. Every other life form except humans seems to operate simply by instinct and the genetic code. In the winter, the goose flies south. How often? Answer: every winter. If you said to the goose, hey, it'd be better this year to go west, he ignores that advice. And the reason is because he cannot make choices and listen to advice of something that might be better. He has to obey instinct and the genetic code. But now jot this down: not human beings.
Hey there, thanks for listening. Tough Love Motivation is a passion project of mine, and every like, comment, and subscribe really helps the channel out. If you enjoyed this video or get something from it, please consider smashing that like button or even give a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.